work.
But oh shit. Yo, welcome to morning. We're live. Um, what's up, guys?
What's good, son of a bitch?
Good morning.
Yo,
Good
so
morning.
How you doing?
I'm alright. I feel good. How'd the first one go yesterday? You guys watched that?
Bro, that shit was phenomenal, man. I love OG. Even at 7 a.m., that guy's a bang. Like, he's
Bro, he
so
has
much
so much
energy.
energy. Literally, this guy was tucked in his bed, cozy, but still
Yeah,
himself.
he killed me on the energy for sure. Um,
How you feeling about the first one, though?
it rocked, dude. This is like a whole new format. Like even just as a way to connect with like different people every day. Like not even on some like, oh, this shit's gonna go viral or whatever. Like it's just like a cool way to like jumpstart my day and like already start the day like just connecting with uh like people that are also like doing this shit.
Yeah, I feel
For
like
sure, for sure.
it's like a different way for all of us to talk. I've never talked to y'all this early in the morning, so it's just like everyone's in like a different element type shit.
No, it's actually fire though. It is because when I was talking to Kuska yesterday, I don't know, I just felt like we talked about like shit from like 2020, 2021, and like I don't know, just like the World Cup and like all that shit. I don't know, it just when you talk to people or you do a podcast like during the day at like in the afternoon or whatever, I don't know, there's like more of an urgency and you gotta like I mean you got work Kian, but like soon. But in most cases it's like there just doesn't feel like there's any like restriction on time or whatever. You could just like literally just I don't know, it's like early in the morning, like when it's dark out, it's like the world just kinda like stops.
Hmm.
I got that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's way more chill. I'm not rushed to like say something super important or like interesting. We're just chilling.
I haven't woke up at 7 a.m. in like forever. Bro, this is a first, so I don't know how the conversation gonna go for me. I'm a try to do my best here.
Yeah, you're doing terrible.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it sucks.
Maybe we should have woke up earlier, bro. 6 a.m.
That would have done the trick, I think.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I mean nah, like everyone's a little tired. You know, it is what it is. Um
Nah, man. Excited to bang it out.
what are you doing today, Ali? Kian's working, but
I got a final exam because school's still a thing, unfortunately. But
Ryerson.
yes, sir, yes, sir. It's a 3-hour exam from like 7 to 10. Not looking forward to it, but we gonna get it done. I just got so much work to do for it though, because you know me, I don't study, so we gonna see how that ends up happening. But yeah, after that we should be all clear till the next year. So yeah, what about you, homie?
I mean, I'm just like really busy with a lot of things going on, events and just different plans and things like that. And I'm like doing more acting,
I got you. I got
just doing more acting
you.
too.
Ooh,
So that's cool. And
Very
fun.
slow.
and yeah, just getting things in. Like I don't have a moment where like I'm not like working on something, which is really cool because like there've been times where like I'm less busy than I am right now, and it's like less
Yeah,
enjoyable, for sure. So there's I don't know, you just like I don't know, it's like a senior citizen or something. You just keep yourself busy.
I definitely get that though. There's a quote that I like. It's like the success or the reward for good
It's
work
going
is
great so
more
far.
work. So that
Great so
means
far.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Shut up, bro. It The quote was like the reward for good work is more work. So it just means you're doing something right. You get me?
Yeah,
So
staying
we keep
busy
it
is
pushing.
important.
Yeah, I get you, Joe Rogan. It's yeah, no, like I don't know, just it's just good to be be doing stuff, and then like stuff that makes money too is nice. I mean, this
Hmm.
is not, this is not a lot of bread here, but this is honestly, bro, like this is just this is
for the
cool as
culture.
fuck. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like this is also dope as hell. Like especially when I got the music running and like I'm putting on like local artists and stuff. The music today, like I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is up with the music today, but um I don't know. I feel like this has potential to like go somewhere too. If I just
Oh,
like,
for sure.
yeah, get it in front of the right people and just be doing it for longer too, but
Yeah,
it's
it's like
cool. Like
falling
I
into
don't
that
have like a
routine.
day this week where I don't have a guest lined up, which is nice. And I don't know, like if I can carry on with that and just like keep giving it a shot and keep like trying new things with it and getting better at it, I think there's potential here, Like it might not be the biggest thing I do, but or the thing I'm like putting most of my focus into, but I think that it's like a really nice like supplement or just additional thing, and it also just like keeps me up early and like again like just like talking with people, which is I think like very necessary.
Bro, the fact that you can wake up and like the first thing that you do is like something creative is like the fucking best. Like being being up this morning and like being able to just like I don't know, like sort of chill for a bit. Like normally I wake up, crawl my ass out of bed and like get in the car and go to work and then just like don't use my brain for the next 5 hours. But now we're able to just sort of like sit here and like actually have a conversation and like I don't know, it's a nice change of pace.
The
Yeah, thanks, man.
consistency part is probably going to be the hardest, though. Like all good things, bro, it's just probably going to take time. So if you can manage to do this like for a while, that grind is going to be insane, like results wise at the end.
Thanks.
Because
Yeah,
who
yeah,
else going to be doing this? Yeah,
yeah. Well, who else is doing this right now? I think this is like, yeah, you gotta like fill a gap that isn't
isn't
being
there?
isn't there, and like I don't know. I think like it just looks cool with the visual and shit, and I don't know. Like it's just yeah. I don't really see this anywhere else.
No,
Um.
for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah. No. You guys watching World Cup and shit? Is that still
Yeah,
still on?
man.
Man,
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, I was that's what I say the same thing.
unfortunately, yeah, I mean, I was watching it pretty heavy. I didn't plan to like watch it that much. Like I was like, whatever. Like it's in the winter, so it's sort of weird and like all that shit. And then once it started, I like started watching it, and the games were insane. So I just kept watching it. And then England went out on the weekend, so I got slightly depressed. But I'm gonna watch it till the end. I may as well.
This has got to be one of the craziest World Cups, though. Like, I'm avid soccer watcher, but just for the World Cup, and like, yeah, a
Yeah, it's
lot of the
fun.
stuff that's been going on, man, crazy. Like Morocco,
Bro, I'm
who would
literally
have
I'm a
thought?
Morocco fan now, man.
How
Once
do you
England went
only
out, I
like
was like,
be an
yeah,
avid soccer watcher for the World Cup? Because like it only happens like every what 4 years?
I mean, bro, being a soccer fan, it's like a big task. You know, it's a big sign up because these games are so long. So I'm like, all right, if I'm ever gonna watch soccer fully, I'll just commit it to only the World Cup, and then all my like I like Barcelona, so I'll just watch like some of their clips. You get
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
you
But
like
then
like
yeah,
condense all the watching into like the World Cup period
yeah.
or like the
So like
exactly. Yeah,
Euros.
yeah,
casual,
yeah.
casual with like everything else, and then like World Cup is like intense. Yeah, yeah. It's been
Exactly. Yeah,
cool.
which sucks because
Yeah,
sorry I cut you off, but I had three people that I was rooting for. Told you guys, but like Iran, Canada, and Germany. I didn't think all of them were gonna get out of the qualifiers, but
Yeah,
here we
Germany
are.
was
You
like your
know.
safe pick, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought
yeah.
it was a really
Actually,
safe pick.
was Canada the first to like exit? Because like I swear it's been a minute since I even remember Canada
I mean,
playing.
Canada
But
and Iran sort of went out around the same time.
yeah, and like the
Like
states were
Yeah.
they,
just a little bit after that. And
yeah, because Canada and Iran went out in the group stage. So yeah, it was a while ago now, or at least it feels like it, because there's been a bunch of breaks between the semis and like the finals and the quarters. So we're actually back today, two
Who's playing
o'clock,
today?
Argentina Croatia semifinal, and then
Who do y'all
tomorrow
got?
France Morocco.
I mean, honestly, my pick is Argentina. I don't necessarily want that, but that's my pick.
I'm gonna go Morocco, man. I want an underdog team to take it.
Oh, but what about for Argentina and Croatia?
Oh, for that game, Argentina. I have beef
Ar-
with Croatia since last World Cup. England played them in the semis and we lost in extra time. It was heartbreaking.
yeah,
So I'm going Argentina, even though I normally wouldn't. But yeah,
I
I
gotta
hope
s-
we get to the final.
I gotta say Argentina too, bro. Their jerseys are so nice, and that's all I'm gonna go off of.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Because both teams are so good at this point. It's like it's anyone's game. You get me?
Didn't
Yeah,
you
I
say
mean
you were like
Morocco.
designing a jersey?
Yeah. I want to keep that under wraps, but it's turning out really sick. Yeah.
That's pretty fire.
Um. Yeah. Thank you, man. But also Morocco versus France. I'm with Kian on the same boat, bro. Morocco, my Arab guys, bro. The Middle Eastern
Yeah,
in me just
easily,
needs to
easily.
see these guys get
I'm
to
yeah,
semis.
I'm with Morocco. I don't know if that'll happen. I could honestly see France and Argentina in the final.
It'd be
France and
sick.
Argentina
I
sounds
don't
like
know,
a
man. That would be a sick game, but I feel like Morocco, like, it's at the point where they've gotten so far that it's like, yo, like, come on, it's two more games. Like, they're gonna be tough, but like, you've gotten this far, further than you've ever gone before. It's like, fuck it,
they have the entirety of Africa and the Middle East behind them, bro.
literally, bro. Bro, they got random people like me, just like supporting them just because they're like a random underdog, and it would be sick. Like, I can only imagine the whole fucking country's coming to a standstill when those games start.
The entire Africa, Middle East, and Kian Ganon.
Yeah, bro.
The three
Yeah,
biggest three biggest influences in soccer.
yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
They know how it goes. They
Yo,
know I'm
so how
Yes.
you
excited.
feeling, Ali, after your album last week? You've been feeling
Oh
good.
man. Drops a mixtape. This shit sounded like an album, you feel me? I'm so happy with it, man. Um I'm definitely gonna be talking about the tape and like the songs more in depth in the future. But like in terms of reception, man, all I have in reference is when I released Running Man, and that was when I wasn't in the scene. It was just like people who knew me, and so the Godspeed numbers just kind of blew the Running Man numbers out the water. Um, and bro, the love. I've getting so much DMs, so many DMs. Let me fix my grammar, but yeah, I've gotten so many DMs from just randoms and like people in the industry, all like being so nice and just saying the nicest things about it and like how they genuinely really like it. And that's all I wanted at the end of the day, you know, for people to resonate with it. Um, I'm really happy with that. I'm so happy with that. Uh, like last time I checked, last night we were past like I think what was it, 2,400 streams on all streaming services, which is crazy to me, bro. It's today's makes it like an officially like a week since it's released. You get me?
Yeah, wow,
And
that's really good.
thanks, man. And yeah, I'm gonna start promoting it after exams, but I'm so happy with it because end of the day, man, it's good music and it was as close as the vision in my head that I had when I was talking to you about it last November, when we were doing the TTC interviews. Like it's as close, if not pretty much the exact thing I wanted to make. So
Yeah, is
I'm
that not
just so
fucked
happy
that
with it.
like that was so long ago when we were doing that, and you've been talking about this album for like so long. So I'm personally like very happy that like you're content with it. Like first of all, because it was like a long process that I was like a part of the ride for, and
Yeah.
to see the payout is really cool.
Holy shit, November, man. It's been like what, a year and a month.
I don't think
So
I
it
was
doesn't feel like
doing. I
that.
don't think I was doing Subway interviews last November. Like it might have been. You were definitely talking about the album like in November of last year, but
Yeah. I just don't remember when I started because I think when I was talking to you about it, it was just an idea, right? Because you know you have an idea and then you start making the music around that, and so I didn't think I was going to make a new project so soon, and then Battle of the Raps hit, and I just got hit with like a truckload of new inspiration.
fire.
So Yeah. I think that interview was really just at the start, like planting the seeds and for what became Godspeed.
Yeah, I remember Coach was recording that interview with the both of us,
Oh man,
and he had
shout out
like,
Coach, bro. LeBron James.
Bro, it's been cool to like. I remember at Battle of the Raps, you mentioned to me about for coin doing like the rug sweater, and like just having the idea of that sweater, and like you explaining the embroidery and blah blah blah. And like I literally met you 5 minutes before, and I was like, "Yo, it's a sick idea." And then literally like I don't know, maybe 6 8 months later, it was just out. And I was like, I remember seeing the post, and I was like, "Oh shit, bro! This guy told me about that as like an idea when I met him." So that was
Yeah.
cool, like sort of full circle moment.
Man, even for me, bro, I remember me and you did that photo shoot after Battle of the Raps, and then you were talking to me about like, oh man, I'm thinking of doing a magazine. I have this idea, that idea, and I won't say all of them, but like 6 months later, I'm seeing this guy like got it done. You get me? And we're on what issue? You're headed to issue 3 now, so
Yeah, man.
it,
Yeah,
it
it
is a
was.
whole full circle thing.
No, it was cool. That was a fun shoot when we first sort of linked up. That was a lot of fun. It
Yeah,
feels like it was ages ago now, man.
it does, but at the same time, it's like I could vividly remember it. You get me?
that
Yeah,
was
I
a
remember
cool
it's
ass
cold as
shoot. I
fuck.
remember seeing that. That was you had on
Back
some like, I don't know, you had like a big puffy jacket, and
Yeah,
it was like an outdoor shoot, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
just
Back
walking
when
around
Kian
like,
was balling with the film camera.
yeah, man. I was shooting black and white HP5 on can't remember what film. I think it was my Yashica, the FX3. That's actually broken now. That I remember
How'd
that
you break
broke,
it?
bro.
Oh,
That broke in the
legendary.
middle of a shoot with Henry.
Yeah,
We were in the
with
service
Dent.
station with Den for the 6ZT, and it literally the advance lever just snapped, and I
Ouch.
was halfway through a roll, so I took the half of the roll out the camera just to save whatever we had, and then we had to walk back and grab. Luckily, I had another camera, because if I left it back at home, bro, like I'm in Whitby, so that would have been horrible. But we made it work.
Yeah, we made it work.
I feel like shit like
Wow.
that always happens. Like you'll literally be doing something, and then the one thing you didn't expect to happen will happen, or like even something a little bit more minor than that. But like I don't know, I feel like sometimes the best shit comes when like things go wrong.
Yeah,
No,
we
for
were at
sure.
GRG. Honestly, the last GRG show. Not.
When all
I don't mean the
right?
last. I don't mean the last ever because I don't know if they will do another one.
Most recent one though.
Yeah, which was Up in Smoke, right?
Yeah,
And I don't know if you knew this, Ali, but at this show, the fucking the soundboard broke,
they fucking fried it 2 songs in, man.
Ouch. So
and
what did they do?
That's wild.
it was so dope as like a moment, you know.
Yeah, it was
It
crazy.
was so like I'll never forget that because I think they just finished mathematics. Like they were 2 songs in, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the first song was. I'm trying to remember, but the second song was mathematics, and it fried the soundboard. And
I remember the sound guy was freaking out.
yeah,
He's like, it's done, it's done. That's like a fucking $12,000 fucking soundboard. Like he was so cheesed. And then they just like Chris Jost pulled out some fucking wizardry and ran some shit
on
through the
God,
DJ's deck. Shout out DJ Syrup. Uh, ran it through his
shout
deck,
out
ran
DJ
it through his
Sure.
speaker, did some weird shit, and like did the rest of the show without a fucking deck.
Yeah, they just fucking hammered it out, and there was how long of a delay? Like how long were we kind of standing there? Like what the fuck happened? That was
Probably
like
like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes.
yeah,
But like
That's
not as long as
crazy.
you would think. Like it was
Yeah, I was
fucking
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say.
like you would think it would be all right, that show's done. Like that's what they were all saying, but
Yeah, everyone
no,
was like, "We're
Chris
going."
was
Everyone was
determined.
like, "We're going home," type shit. And but like
Being
Chris
on the
was
spot like that too.
determined. What's that?
I said being on the spot like that too, it has to be
Yo, but
crazy.
Yeah.
what's wild about that too is I remember the sound guy or the promoter, or no, not the promoter, the owner. Um, of the bartender like slash owner manager of Tale of the Junction, which is where it was. I remember him being like, "There's no way, like, show's over." Like, I think the lights might have. Did the lights turn off? I don't know. It definitely felt like they did.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't remember.
I don't know, but um, he definitely was like very adamant. I remember like shouting over the crowd, just like,
Yeah, it's like
"Yeah,
it's done.
yeah, it's done. The show's over. Like the show's over." And then like Chris and Syrup just figured something out, like bypassed some shit, and
Bro, when it came back, when mathematics came back the second time, once they got the speaker working, like that moment where the song started playing again, the noise and like just like the joy in the fucking crowd, bro. Like I was so gassed. Everyone was so fucking happy. And like you can just imagine how the rest of the set went. Like it was nuts.
Yeah, because saving the set,
man,
bro, had a crazy energy. But
man,
I
give
had a
me like a
question for you
time, like
guys.
give me a time machine and let me go back to that show. That shit was fucking
Bro,
awesome.
that's literally the reason I like that's included in issue 2. And like that played
That
a
and
big.
like New Mass as well.
Yeah, and like that played a big role. I was like, those shows were just legendary.
Those
Like,
shows were, yeah, like some shows are just different. Some shows are just totally
So yeah,
different. Sorry, yeah, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
nah, it's cool because I was actually gonna just touch on this topic, but since it's the last like end of the year, what if we do like a end of the year recap? Like, what was some of the craziest moments of the year in terms
I
of
think
like shows and shit?
that's a great fucking idea.
Like New
yeah,
Mass, you hit it, bro. That
Uh,
Sophia side show, oh my
no, I
god.
mean, ridiculous. One of the most ridiculous
yeah.
shows I've ever been to. And on
I
that note,
always
Nothing but props to them and like their whole team for that. I
Nah,
just
I
think
always credit them, man, because these guys are just like on crack with their stage presence and just how they do things. Nah, I swear to God,
these
like
guys are
Eric,
on crack.
Paulo, sometimes they just say shit, and I'm like, how did you come up with this? You know what I mean? And a lot of people like that I know, they'll say some crazy shit maybe once in a blue moon, but they'll never act upon it. When you hear some crazy shit come out from the Sophia side camp, you know it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be even
yeah,
crazier than what you can imagine.
Well, like
yeah, like,
what's funny to me is like oftentimes you say that you want to do some insane shit, and what you end up doing ends up being dope as fuck. It's never, because eventually ideas become like watered down, and
Yeah,
you have to bring things into reality, and like it doesn't end up being all of the crazy shit that like you had in your head.
but
But
for Sophia side, reality has to catch up to them. You
well,
know?
yeah, and like I guess what I'm saying is like if the things that they've if something like New Mass like was what they pulled off, what were their original intentions for it? You know what I mean?
yeah, they're
Because
probably even crazier than we experienced. And
that's
like
what I
that shit was already nuts.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you almost have to take what happened and then like elevate it to a different level and go, that's probably where the idea was sitting at. Because like
Yeah,
that naturally happens. Things need to be cut away and like you need to do things to make it doable.
yeah,
Like not all the time your idea is gonna 100% work out or fit. So you have to make adjustments. So
yeah. Like I think all of us know what that's like. Like maybe if you're like working on locals only magazine and you have ideas for you want this person, this person, and then those things don't work out, right? And it's like,
yeah.
so like usually that's probably the same thing with like your album too, Ali, and like, the magazine and shit is like, okay, so this is like this was the best that I could do and I shot for the fucking moon type shit.
For me, it's typically like time constraints because with these ideas that I have, I also in my brain, I'm just always like, all right, what can I like actually do? And like I typically now that I'm kind of shooting for the stars, like what they're doing, I get it done. It's just I never put a date or like time limit for myself because bro, nothing creative that I've ever done comes out on the schedule that I think it's going to. Like the tape is just the most recent example. I thought I was gonna have that shit done in July, then September, then October, November, and then we got it out in December. You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that shit just happens. That's part of the process of like you think it's sometimes you might think it's done too, and then you just have to be like, no, I'm not ready to like put this out, or I need to change this, or
Oh
like
yeah, exactly. There's like
things just go wrong.
there's 20 different final products, right? It's just which one you think is the best and like how much you're gonna edit that down and
Yeah.
further refine it.
I
But
think
back
it's
to
oftentimes just like a snapshot of, okay, this is Godspeed at this time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
like right now, if you kept working on it, it would be very different than it is when you dropped it. Like what, a week ago, a couple weeks ago, a week ago, right?
it
So it's
was
like, yeah, it
a
was a
week
week
ago
ago.
today.
It was a week ago today. Well, a week ago, like tomorrow. But um, yeah, it's just like a snapshot of, I don't know. It's not like, it's not the best that you can do now, but it was the best that you could do at that moment. So it's like almost like time capsules and shit, you know? Like you can't
yeah,
expect, like the goal is to be able to make something better than the shit that you've already made,
Yeah,
cuz
like the second it drops, you're like, all right, now like next one has to be better.
yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
course. But like right now, I'm still like in the enjoyment phase. What you guys are talking about, I experienced with the Running Man like a month or two after, where it's like,
Okay,
oh,
bet.
I could have, if I moved this audio clip this way or that way, or if I mixed it this way, it could have been way better. But yeah, you're right.
I
It
think that's
shows your
no, I
artistry
think
in the
that's
moment of
good that
time.
you're I think it's good that you're allowing yourself to like enjoy that like post-release time actually.
Yeah.
Like
Because
yeah.
man, when you're in the trenches in like those sessions, the mixing sessions, you're so honed in and focused on all the small intricacies that now that it's out there and I can't edit the audio file on Spotify, it's a different listening experience in general, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
do. I do know what you mean. Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah,
once it I have it set for a minute, I'm gonna go like reflect on it and just be like, you know, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. And there's like small things I can pick up right now, but to be honest, man, yeah, I'm still at that stage right now where I'm just enjoying it for what it is, and you know, people are too. So yeah, I'm not being too nitpicky right now.
I think in that process too, like you're talking about making like 20 versions, and like eventually you present sort of the final thing, like because you always like everyone goes through these edits and stuff. I feel like it's important to know when to stop the edits and like when it's time to put something forward, or at least set it to the side, because like if you wanted to, like all of us could have an idea or a project or whatever, and like just keep editing it and like changing it and being like constantly thinking, okay, I like this now, but like in 2 weeks I'm like, no, it could be better, or like whatever. And like you could fall into a loop where you're literally working on something just for like too long, like you're just making
Yeah, for
too
real.
too many edits, and sometimes you just have to let it be what it is. And like if it's up to a certain standard that you enjoy, like sometimes letting go of it is more important than like continuously working on it and then you just never do anything with it.
And to add on to that, man, like bro, being creative, none of your stuff has a set end. You get me what I mean? Like if you're a lawyer and you're writing a paper up, you kind of have a structure you're gonna follow. But yeah, you can just keep on constantly making edits,
That's a good point.
and it's so weird. I kind of fell into that loop like what you were talking about. Um and I'm glad I like got myself out of it because sometimes the loop actually like really benefits you. For this tape, like Asthmatic Part 1 I recorded, I it had a completely different version, but I redid the drums and I redid my verse, because I was being real like perfectionist with it, and I didn't like how it sounded until I got the new version. And like I got in a bunch of DMs like, initially being like, "Oh, that's my favorite song off the tape," and I'm like, "Thank God, you know, that I did them changes." But again, it's like man, you can have, I see this art as like a painting, right? Let's say you have a painting of someone's face, and if you keep on doing like small adjustments, like over and over and over again, it's just going to become a completely new thing. You get me? So yeah, at a certain point, you just gotta let it go, um, because yeah, you can pretty much spend forever on these adjustments, which I really, I mean, I could, but at the end of the day, I want to have something out that like quality
Yeah.
wise, any more adjustments, it wouldn't change. It
Well, at
wouldn't
the end
change
of the
what
day,
the final
like
product is.
you are an artist, like your friends know you as that, like there are people, not like a crazy fan base or whatever, but there are people that want to hear music from you, and like people that know you as an artist, and like I don't know, at a certain point you just need to be an artist, and to be an artist, like you have to release something, you have to put something out, you know like
Yeah.
you
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 say
know
that shit and it's like it's true, but sometimes, the pessimist in me is like, ah, you don't got fans, bro. I got like 3 DMs in like September to October's time of like people I didn't know being like, when's the next thing coming out? And bro, that shit hit me so hit a spot that I don't know how to explain. Like it hit my soul, man. Being like, wow, people are anticipating the next thing, you get me?
Yeah,
And
bro, when it's people you don't know, it's so like different. Like I had that with the magazine, like people like reaching out or just like I'd meet someone and they were like a homie of a homie and they'd be like, "Oh shit, you're like locals only, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And like I was
you
like,
are
"That's
locals only.
literally," and I just like laugh. I'm like, "Yeah, like that's
yeah
like I don't know, it's a sick feeling." I'm like, "Thanks, man." Like because it's just an idea, like or it was just an idea. And like even now it's like we're not big. Like it's small, but like
yeah
I like where it's at, and like it is cool every once in a while having people that aren't my homies or like just people in the scene that I know, like other sort of even people from like Whippy and stuff, or random people I went to high school with that I didn't talk to too much, reaching out, being like, "Hey, dude, like I've seen your stuff, like blah blah blah." Like that's always really cool.
Especially on the internet wave, man. Like I got to play in Korea yesterday. I've never been to Korea. You know what I mean? You don't know how far some of the stuff can go. And yeah, it's so wild because like with my luck on like marketing this stuff even just a bit, I've gotten like kind of a international audience. It's super small, but you can't really quantify it in your head. But it just sounds so wild when you say it out loud. Like, yeah, bro, in Korea, someone was bumping Godspeed, or like I had a play in India 2 days ago, bro. India. Who
Yeah,
do I know who's in India? No one.
yeah. Like regardless of whether it's one play or like 100 plays, it's like
At
if
that point,
it
I
was
don't care
there at
because it's
some
like,
point, you're just like, "Yo, this that it's sick that it made it there."
yeah, my music's been in more countries than I'll ever be in, and I find that to be such a cool thing, you know? And yeah, I lost my train of thought, but for sure, man, for sure. Uh,
You were
but back to
saying
like, yeah,
saying
go
like
ahead.
best things of this year, right? Oh,
Yeah,
I
I was
think
gonna hit
Calvin's
that
gonna
up.
join in a sec. He messes the
Oh,
group chat.
he's pulling
Um,
up.
I think he will.
Fire, fire.
Like 6 minutes ago, he was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm late,"
Speaking
but
of
I don't see him in
speaking
here.
of Calvin, bro, his Afro Man show, bro, that's something I'll never forget.
Oh, that was yeah,
Yeah, that was sick.
that was a
That was
moment
sick.
for sure.
I think I'd like just come back
Just
from Portugal, which was I don't know.
Yeah,
That made it kind of cool for me. Just kind of
yeah,
like
nice.
being away from everything for a minute, and then I don't know, like his kind of show where he has like a bunch of people on stage is something like I'm really a fan of because he does it really well, and like he has like
Yeah,
all the different, like he sets it up well. Like there's just like everyone's like matching, like there's like a theme,
theme
and
going on in all the
yeah,
shows.
and all that shit, and like I don't
it's
know.
not just a bunch of
Also,
people jumping around.
like it also just felt like our scene was like infiltrating that venue, and
Mainstream.
that show, and the whole Afroman thing. Like I don't know, like just with like Chris, and like Chris just being up there, and like I don't know, just the rage that like every one of the dudes had on stage of just like I don't know, the theme was kind of like it felt like a sort of takeover type shit. You know what I mean? Is that Calvin right here? Oh, let me
Calvin,
You
unmute.
late, bitch.
we are
Dog, I'm literally
live.
yo Calvin. I'm literally talking about your performance right now. Yo, what's good, man? Say something.
It
That's light. That's
happens,
light.
man.
That's light. Let me add you in here. Um,
You're at a good point where you can hop right in.
Yeah, we were talking about we were dick riding you a little bit with the Afro Man show, talking about how like it was crazy that the scene infiltrated just that crowd and how you fucking killed that night, man.
It was like Calvin Moon versus Afro Man crowd. Like it was like, yo, I'm here and y'all aren't gonna just sit back and be like, okay, whatever, another opener. It's like, nah, I'm gonna fucking you're gonna have to pay attention because there's 8 of us on stage in hazmat suits just going ape shit. So you have no choice but to pay attention.
Literally, yeah, yeah. It's a fucking yeah. Afro Man, like looking back, it was so much stress, but like the actual night was such a vibe, you know.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah, it was
for sure,
loads of
man.
fun. Man,
Well, yeah.
I'll always cherish that photo of you guys right at the end of the set because it shows everyone that was in the crowd, and I was like, yo, this is the biggest crowd I've taken a photo of you in front of, like
Yeah.
since we met, whenever the hell that was.
Yo,
Battle of the
I
Raps.
got a question for Calvin. How was the mix down show? I'm interested in that because they do it in the basement of the Toronto Public
Of a
Library.
library, dog. Like,
What's that?
Yeah, it's like Palmerston, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the mix down show. Yeah, it was more of a vibe. I feel like the mix down, they have like great social media presence and like they have all this like promotion. So like I got like a bunch of promotion from it. But like the actual event, I like me personally, I just didn't know how like my music would fit in such like an event where people are just sitting down and listening to people sing, you know?
Oh,
So
facts.
it was like singer, and then I came on, and then it was just like completely like hype, and people got hype. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like to switch moods from like a R&B singer to me. It's like
Yeah, that's intense, bro.
yeah,
It goes from someone singing about like their heart's broken to Calvin be like, "Yo, I'm gonna break your fucking neck."
exactly.
Everyone's like, "What the
Yeah,
fuck?"
like you guys know me, like I'll do that shit, but it's like different, you know.
Yeah, you never say no to a show, but I
Yeah,
get what Calvin's saying, bro. Me and you were talking about one day. I remember it's like, what if we did a show at a retirement home? You know, just completely fuck up the vibe.
yeah,
Maybe.
That'd be fucked. No,
Completely
Yeah,
Calvin would send
kill
someone into
people. Yeah,
fucking
like
a medical
completely fuck up the
situation.
vibe. Yeah, completely fuck up your
the
life
elderly people.
behind bars.
Yeah.
No, that'd be fucked, man.
Yo, Calvin, what are you saying, man? Are you there was like a mixtape announcement you had like recently,
oh
right?
yeah. So yeah, for that, I'm still like planning on dropping it in December, and it's and it, like my main plan is just to drop like a little like EP with 5 songs called the Avant Garde Hood Classic. And yeah, it's just like some nice like hits, some heavy hard like some heavy hip hop shit for this time, you know, because I feel like I haven't really dropped like straight hip hop yet, so I just wanted to drop like some straight hip hop trap bangers for before the end of the year, you know.
That's
That's
sick, man.
fucking awesome.
I feel like
Christmas
you.
gift.
I feel like you dabble into like. I mean, I've said this to Henry before, and we've talked about this. Like you sort of cross into like the punk space in a way, where
Yeah,
like you sort of you step on both sides where you're like you have that punk shit going on, but then you have the rap and like it shows like especially in sort of the performances you do and like the fact that you played at the arcade with a bunch of punk bands and like heavy bands like you can tell there's
Yeah.
definitely a crossover. So hearing some like straight rap hip hop shit is gonna be exciting for sure.
yeah, yeah. It's just like straight like bar after bar after bar type shit, you know. And it's like, my opinion, it's like it's pretty heavy, but yeah.
How was the arcade show? Like
It was
how is that as a venue? I'm kind of like eyeing that venue to be honest.
it's a fun ass venue. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a
Yeah,
like
it's unique as hell.
yeah, like it's low key just a house, you know. So that's what like it's a vibe there. You know, like people are all spaced in doing their thing. I feel like me performing there though, it was like at first at least it was like, who the hell is this guy? And like, why is he taking so long with his DJ? And when we
Yeah.
started playing, it was like it was a different vibe. But I don't regret anything. You know,
Yeah. I'm
we
sure there
just
was a
felt
bit of that sort of like rock pretension when like a rapper
yeah, like
came on at
literally, I
first.
was like, oh,
Yeah,
these are punk fans. They'll just mosh to anything. They didn't even, bro. It was like,
yeah, it was like an interesting vibe, man. Like there was a bit of
Who is
that.
this popular rapper? Like
exactly. I was like, yeesh.
Bro, there was a one-man mosh pit. I take pride in that. It was me and then
Literally, I
It
was
was
like,
you and
OWC
OG.
jumping up
ah,
and down.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it was cool, man. I enjoyed it.
But it
I
would be
enjoyed it
cool to
so much,
like,
bro.
it would be cool to do some like cross genre shit in there, but like cross genre shit where like it's cross genre homies that like rep each other. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I feel like Sophia side would be kind of cool in that space if they
Fair
were
enough, yeah.
if they
Yeah,
were ever into that.
that'd be
But
dope.
yeah, I don't know, cause like I'm doing like rap nights and shit now. You can call me Spark, and it's like I want to still do like Zed nights. You know, like I mean they are Zed nights, but like I want to do like that like just fried shit like that like
The
wiener
cross
kebab,
genre.
fucking yeah, and
Yeah.
like like rappers and like a host and like that's kind of like what the formula kind of was. So like I feel like a venue like that could be cool to try that out. Were the venue like owners? Did you see them or like talk to them or like were they chill?
Oh yeah, I saw the venue owners. They're like super professional and chill. Like they're asking me, "Oh, what do you need for your set? How much people are like
Are you gonna kill
playing?"
anyone?
Yeah, exactly. They're just like,
We're
okay,
actually gonna break any necks.
just the simple shit. Like the venue, like everybody in the venue and all that. Like the setup is great. It's that like the audience was kind of, it was okay. Like me personally, like I'll rock out to like a one person audience. Like it's not that deep for me, you know? Like
Yeah,
I'll always just jam out. Like I don't care if nobody else is jamming out. That just makes me jam out harder, you know?
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. Music, but like I can't just sit here and say, "Oh, everybody was bouncing off the walls. It was crazy." Like it was alright, you know.
That's
Yeah, you're not
jokes.
trying to go all
You
like
should have
Soldier
been there
Boy.
last night. Yo, you
Yeah,
weren't there, man. You weren't there.
yeah, like good God, the photos, bro. The photos were like, "Oh yeah, Calvin Moon's jamming out," and then you see all like a whole like crowd and shit. But like if anybody took a picture of like me like right next to the audience, it would just be like nothing. It'll just be
But
Dog,
me.
that's such a fucking shame. Like, you know
but
Yeah,
I feel like that's
you know
every
how much
opener
like
though,
you
no?
know how much goes into like planning a show and like, you know,
yeah,
how rare these moments are and like I don't know, like if you're standing there in that crowd, like you're not gonna like at least like bop your head and like enjoy this shit. Like
literally,
that's
like
just so pretentious, bro.
it's
Anyway.
so weird. Like me personally, like ever since I started performing, I like, and then I see anybody else performing, I just jam out to them because like I know how it feels, you know.
Bro, regardless of if you even like the music, bro. I've seen sets where I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan, but I'm gonna still like clap and fucking and like tap my foot and bop my fucking head and like support them type shit. Cause like it's not
Exactly.
easy to
Yeah.
get up there.
Like even if
That was
I fucking hate everything, like I do not like it. Like I still have a respect for anybody who's out here doing their thing. Like anybody because
devil's advocate though.
I
We're
know
in this
how
scene,
hard that
right?
shit is, right? Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. I was gonna say like we're in the scene, so we get that. Always seen openers as like the guys who are breaking the ice, sort of initially, because to get into that vibe of being in that crowd, um, it's really tough being an opener. You feel because yeah, some people are just getting started. Maybe they're having like one or two drinks, so it's a real tough job, and also like the opener being a different genre completely.
Yeah.
It's kind of
But it wasn't even like that off brand, like
No, it
oh no,
wasn't.
I completely get it.
like it got like it has heavy bass, heavy like it's just crazy shit. Like I just thought something would happen.
But
Yeah,
even
like
if you go to like a Scotiabank or any like giant arena, the opener usually is the guy who's like performing while everyone's still seating or like half the venue is filled. Do you get me?
Yeah.
but even like with the arcade show, like as an idea, like it made complete sense for the crowd to be like in my head just thinking of the bands on the bill and your style of music. I was like the crowd's gonna love it. Like it just made sense.
Exactly.
But then when it came down to it, like it sort of just didn't make sense to the crowd. And I was like, why? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people just aren't open minded like that. That's just a fact of life. It just is what it is. But
Yeah.
um,
It was
yes,
unfortunate,
sir.
man. It was like I felt like it was weird that there was still like that weird gap and it's like, why haven't we bridged past that yet?
Well, I mean, I
Mm,
don't know. Like for the most part, I don't know if we ever will. Like for the most part, like people are kind of like stuck to, their sort of
Boys.
yeah, like
yeah,
they're if you're like I don't know, yeah, they're kind of for the most part, right? But it's
yeah.
like I'm just happy that like even though for the most part like most people stick to their genre or whatever, or not even just genre, but like I don't know, just like perspective or just interest, right?
Mm.
I'm
Like
just
it's
like I'm glad that like there is like bare people that I don't know, just like will chill for like I've seen way more examples of it like working. Like I've seen way more examples of what you're saying about the arcade thing working than I have like it not working, and that's really good, because like I don't know, like moments like this band Ricochet got done performing, and I put on GRG Cult like right when they were done performing, and
mm,
a bunch of like the fans of the band like stuck around and were like, "Oh, okay, all right, bet," like they got into GRG, which was like dope.
Yeah, that was sick as
mm.
fuck.
And that's why like I appreciate shit like Zen Night because the vibe is like set from the start, you know? And it was like even if I feel like now, me personally, I feel like judging between the two, I feel like hip hop fans are more open to different shit. Because I feel
Yeah,
like
a
if a
hundred
like a
percent.
rock band played at a hip hop event, people would still be jamming out. But
Nah,
it's
like
weird that it's not
yeah,
the other way around, you
yeah.
know?
Like when I
I
did
think I think that
yeah,
my bad. I think that stems from just like a lot of like rap and hip hop like isn't just strictly rap and hip hop. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of pop influence, there's a lot of like
or like
punk
just like
influence.
sampling.
There's jazz elements. Like hip hop artists tend to like sort of combine hip hop with like something else that they enjoy. Like you have another genre that they step into, but for like rock, like it's way less popular to like jump into different sort of bags. So like the crowd are like they're used to listening to stuff that's rap but like has different genres sort of mixed in with it. So when that new genre or the different genre comes on stage, like it's not this big moment where it's like, yo, I don't like this. It's like I'm used to this, so I'm comfortable.
And
Yeah.
rap and hip hop is
That's
a
true.
newer genre in general, right? What, it's like 40 years old or something like that. So it 10 years ago, rap wasn't sounding how it is now. So the sound's always changing. So I think as a rap fan, you just kind of that open mindedness is baked into being a fan of the genre because especially with people like, Kanye, who's always pushing the limits of what
Fuck that guy.
a
But yeah,
rap a traditional rap song is. You can't really be set in stone on what quantifies as rap other like besides, I don't know, when you look at rock, it's pretty much after a certain point plateaued in, okay, this is what it's gonna be, you get me?
yeah, I
Literally,
agree
yeah.
with you. I don't even think guys
Yeah,
like
there's like
Kanye.
definitely like
Yeah,
little niches and like I mean rock has a lot going in terms of you have hardcore shit, you have poppier type stuff. Like there's all these different like little subgenres within it, but like I feel like yeah, rap sort of has that thing where it's a little bit more broad in terms of where it's pulling from, and I think that comes from like necessity of like back when rap wasn't being accepted, like making people more willing to accept it, you had to pull from other places. um so yeah, I don't know, I think that probably plays a bit of a role in it, but I think it depends on the show as well. I know a lot of people into the rock stuff and into all sorts of different stuff that
yeah.
like would
I don't know.
enjoy
I
a
think
rap
it's
set. Like
actually. I think
literally like the
it's
Ricochet
more.
fans
Yeah,
like
the
dancing to
Ricochet fans were
GRG. Like
open
that's the
minded.
wildest shit I've ever seen.
Well, they
Like
were
it's
open
such a
minded.
weird vibe change,
Yeah,
but they were into it.
I think it's more like punk communities are
Yeah,
kind
I
of.
fuck with that shit heavy.
I think
Yeah,
it's like
that's the Zen Night really brought that cross genre thing all together
yeah,
just because you buy a ticket and you really don't know what to expect.
Yeah, like
Um,
but that's
literally.
that's why
Like
some
on
I
people
on
feel
the
won't
to,
buy
to,
a
to
ticket.
like a Zen night was like my first concert like ever that I've ever seen like in my life.
The rooftop,
Because like
right?
because like
That's fucking
literally,
crazy.
but beforehand I never really like had the urge to buy concert tickets because they're so damn expensive. And like I was always scared that I wouldn't like I would spend money at like any event and then just like not like the music. So when I went to like Zen night, especially like the one on Rooftop, and then I saw fucking Sophia Side, Wiener Kebab, GRG Cult. Like that shit like changed me forever. Cause like
Yeah.
the
Space Jam.
crowd was just like set on one tone, you know? It was like we're all connected there. We
That's one of
almost
my
broke the
favorite ones
roof,
I've
but like, you
done.
know, it was like it
Yeah.
was a vibe.
That was one of the favorite
Even
ones
with
I've done, so
Return
I'm really
doing it at the
glad that
Mocambo, man,
you
like
enjoyed
Jesus.
that.
I remember I knew none of these guys when I before that. So I'm looking at Sophia's side. I'm like, how the fuck is any crowd that's gonna like meld with my shit, meld with Eric and Paulo and Space Jam and Wiener? And then it just did. It just did, you know? And then that became one of the craziest nights of my life just because it's like all the people who just enjoy live music in the underground in one room and
Like
they're
I
gonna fuck with
remember I had
anything.
to like drag my friend there because like people like now that I'm so deeply invested into this shit, it's like the outside world still doesn't like fully understand like the how precious like Z nights are. So like I always drag people into this shit, and then they end up liking it. But yeah, it's like
Yeah, bro. That conversation of like of shit that's happened that this year, like Macombo definitely falls in there as like staple moment. And like I don't know, there was just that was a different fucking night. Like that was I'll definitely never forget that. But like publicly, like fuck that Macombo.
Yeah.
But
Of
but I'll just
course.
leave it at I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, me too. Other crazy nights, bro. That first blank canvas shit. Yo, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, okay. The first blank canvas thing that ever happened, in the city. It actually had was it Pickering that it happened in?
Well, he did shit, and I
Are
mean,
you
he did
talking about
Ottawa,
the
and
are you
then
talking about the
Yeah.
he
one that
did
But I'm
was
talking about like
Toronto.
the stuff that we
outdoors?
went to. The first one in the woods.
Yeah, the
Um,
Bro,
woods.
that shit
Oh
was
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
wild.
yeah, that
That
was
was
the
a
first
memory.
one.
That
Yeah,
was
in
a memory
Pickering.
too. Yeah.
Oh my god, that blank canvas Pickering in the woods
Yeah, it was fun,
ordeal.
man.
I have no idea how they pulled it off, man. Just I
That's
we
one of
were
my
walking
favorite
to the
picks you
venue,
got,
right? Or
Keen.
like the spot that they were having it at, and the walk itself was like kind of long, right? So I'm just
Yeah, bro,
thinking
it
to
was
myself,
deep. It was
how
pitch
the hell
black.
did they haul all the things they needed to get to there? You get me?
Yeah,
uh,
bro, I got there mad early, and they were still like they were putting glow sticks on the path to like so people knew where to go. Like it was deep, bro, and like for how far it was, like I was so surprised how many people like trekked through the forest in the middle of the fucking night to just like hear a couple people like play some DJ sets and just like hang out in this like abandoned fucking building or like whatever that area was.
And then when the cops showed up, man, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean that in
You s-
Durham in Durham that shit happens all the time. Like you can't do anything in Durham without the cops getting all anal about it. But they were
maybe
all
they
right.
just want to join.
They were whatever. Yeah, they should have, man. Should have got them on the decks.
But like that's the shit that you
Oh
always
man.
remember is the shit
What
that
other
like goes
things
wrong
happened this year,
or
man?
the cops come or like
Such a good year,
shit like
bro.
that, you
I
know?
always ever since 2021, I've always been like, all right, let me make sure the new year is better than the last one. So
mm, I like what should we call it? Sophia Side show, that church shit.
yeah, we
Yeah, we
talked
talked
about New
about that.
Mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Mass was
RP
fun.
Vosh, by the way, man. One of
Yeah,
the
that was
craziest
fucking
venues
sad,
ever,
bro.
bro.
Fucking
Yo, when I
Vash is
saw that, that
gone.
actually, man, yeah, like no challenge. That venue was one of the sickest ones, and I didn't know. I think it's Kate. Her name was like
Hmm.
she renovated that shit. Like that
Yeah,
was
man.
her
She
blood, sweat, and
fucking
tears
Yeah.
into them building, bro.
No, she worked her ass off on that building, and like the fact that she let so many like crazy events and like weird shit that a lot of main venues would never allow. Like she let that shit happen, and like just ran all sorts of stuff there. And then the fact that like with all that heart and all that like passion to do something good for our space and our community,
Some
ended
suit
up
and tie fucked it up.
just ended up with some bullshit landlord greed. Like it's upsetting, man. It's really sad to see a venue that had a lot of potential and we're doing a lot for the city, just sort of go down for reasons that like they can't do anything about.
Yeah,
And
maybe she'll
yeah,
do
like
something else.
just thinking of how
That'd be
much of a
good.
cultural impact that shit had in the time it was open, and it's like you you don't want to keep on thinking about the future because you'll just get lost in it. But bro, that like Newmat, no, it's sorry, not Newmass, Vosh. It could have been like the craziest spot. But I was talking to Kate about it actually when it all happened. I'm like, bro, Like you could smell the passion in that building. So if she does ever do something else, I feel like that Vosh soul is gonna move on to something else.
You
You
could
get me? It's not
smell the
gonna die
passion.
out with just that building.
Yeah, yeah. No, that there was something going on there, and like it was short lived from my experience. I only went a couple times, but like I don't know, there was something like I don't know. It felt sort of like a regular spot. Like it didn't feel new. It felt like I was comfortable there. Like I don't know. People kept fucking. Everyone was posting fucking Vache. Like I love Vache. Like I don't know. There
Yeah.
was just something. There was something about it, and like
There were two Sophia side shows that I went there, the blank canvas thing, and then there was something else.
no, it was New Mass and it was Goth Prom,
Yeah, New Mass Goth Prom. I feel like I'm missing something else that I
and then
went
Blank
to.
Canvas where you performed, and
Yeah,
then I think that might have been it.
Yo, can y'all still
maybe,
hear
but
me?
I know
yeah.
Quasi did a show there with like
Can y'all
Fuckboy
hear
and a
me?
bunch of other rappers and shit, which
Y'all
looked
can't
like a
even
lot of fun.
hear me though.
Yeah.
Yo, can
I
y'all
think
hear me?
Henry left the call, bro.
Henry just went, you know what? Do my
Yo, can
job
y'all
for me.
hear me?
But,
Can y'all hear
but
me?
I'm gonna
Bro,
leave you guys to do Henry's job for him because I have to go to work.
yeah,
But
I gotta head out too. But
absolute pleasure if Henry can still hear me. I appreciate you
I don't know
having me
what
on
the
this
fuck
morning.
happened.
I feel like
thank
I'm
you so
already
much,
awake
Henry.
and ready to go to work. So
My brain's fully functioning right now. Yeah, like
I'm gonna leave it at
completely.
that.
Yeah,
All
We're
right,
about to. Yeah, we're literally about to hit an hour. So this
uh,
is this was fun, guys. All right,
wonderful.
talk to y'all later.
All
uh,
right, easy guys.
This
respect.
was 6 in the morning.